Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna do a little sit down chat video, we haven't done that in a really long time.
No, I haven't.
I'm really excited too because we're gonna film a Q&A today, and I don't know if the Q&A is gonna go up before or after this video, but it's kind of fun to sit down and do a sit down video with you guys. I feel like the last time we did a Q&A, or the two of us sat down together, was like a while ago.
Yeah,
right?
What are we talking about today?
Oh, yeah. Well, okay. So if you guys remember, how long ago was I made the other video when I had that thing?
A bit ago.
So a month or so-ish ago, I made a video and then an update video kind of giving you guys some information about a little health scare that I had. Basically, I had found a tumor on my leg and scared the crap out of me, and had it removed and sent to get tested and everything. It turns out that it was benign, so that's really good.
Yes.
It was a fast-growing vascular tumor, which I didn't know was a thing, but anyway, that's okay. But in the update video, I had mentioned to you guys that we were gonna make a video talking about some other issues that we've been having, and that's what we're gonna do today. So I didn't wanna go in detail in that video because it was like such a separate thing. And now we have all the information, where at that time, like, I didn't have all the information. So where should I start with this? Just
at the beginning.
Okay, so at the beginning, after Gemma, I almost said Gretchen, after Gemma was born,
oh, and real quick, this is mostly for, if you're like looking for updates on the girls, you should probably watch a different video.
Yeah.
This is more for like our parent friends out there.
Yeah, this is not gonna be, less about the girls, more about just kind of our situation right now.
So this is more for parents and adults, just so we're all clear.
Okay, that's a good disclaimer. So after Gemma was born, I had a pretty, other than being sick when I was pregnant, normal morning sickness and stuff, I had a pretty healthy pregnancy, healthy delivery. Gemma was healthy baby. Since she's been born, me personally, like, my health and stuff hasn't been that great. I've been kind of been dealing with a lot of problems. Aside from that tumor thing that I found, I've been having like more lady problems. So we're gonna call it lady problems.
Downstairs lady parts problems.
Okay, so to just a little bit of details so you guys kind of have the backstory on this. Like, when you have a baby, you don't typically start getting your period back right away if you're breastfeeding. I was breastfeeding almost a year, because when did we go to when did we go to Hawaii? May. So
about a year.
So about a year. So Gemma was breastfed for about a year. A couple weeks before her first birthday is when we stopped doing that. And that's kind of when the majority of the problems like kind of started happening. Basically, I started getting my cycles back, and they were really terrible, really painful. Like, I couldn't leave the house for a couple days. You guys saw, I had some people from the vlog last week comment asking if I was pregnant because I mentioned throwing up in the car. No, I'm not pregnant. I actually just get that ill when I'm expecting my period that it makes me really sick.
And I know that she gets sick sometimes. So last time I had gone to the doctor for one of them, I got some of the doctor's puke bags.
Yes.
So she didn't like throw up all over the car. She just threw up while she was in the car.
It's like almost like a little hospital. We have those in the car. So I actually keep one in my purse because.
Well, now.
Yeah, it's almost like I'm pregnant. Like, that's the best how I could explain it. Is it's almost like morning sickness.
Okay.
Sickness,
well, it's not
but
like
anyway,
pregnant. Maybe more like
it's a hormonal. It's like a hormonal thing. So,
yeah.
I also had some other issues, which it did improve, but basically in like May, June, July of this year, when I stopped breastfeeding, something hormonally was fluctuating. I was very emotional, a lot of anxiety, irritable sometimes, like hormonally. Yeah. You'd ask him. I felt not myself.
I don't remember anything like that. No, I know it was rough.
Yeah, so there was a period there where there was some things changing with my body that I never had happened before, and I just felt really not well. That did improve, so that's, it's gotten a lot better, but the issues that I've been having with my cycle and leading up to it have not gotten better. They've actually gotten worse. So I went to a couple doctors around the same time that I found the tumor in my leg. I had gone to my general practitioner kind of right before that, and I had a talk with her about the hormonal changes and just feeling like if you have anxiety or you've had anxiety at all in the past, like I feel like all moms, and we have a very hectic life, like we have 5 kids, we do a bunch of things for work, and I feel like as a mom, as a parent, you operate at like a base level of anxiety, and that's okay, that's normal. Everybody has a little bit of that in their life, and it's actually, I feel like it's good for you. You know,
I
you're
don't
driven.
have very much anxiety. I'm driven, but I don't have it as much, so it's hard for me to relate sometimes.
Yeah, so I normally operate, there's like a base level of anxiety, and how I explained it to my doctor was that after I had stopped breastfeeding the baby, normally I'm like here, and I just, really like, like Jeff knows I'm a schedule person, and I'm always like to-do lists and all this stuff, but I just kind of felt very overwhelmed, and instead of operating at my base level of like here, I was like here. Yeah, and I just didn't feel well. I just was like very anxious all the time, and it was giving me like physical problems, like I was getting stomach aches, and I was getting like my heart was racing, and that still happens occasionally. Like I'll have like a panic attack, like I
Or
guess.
like your hands will turn blue.
Well, that's a different thing. I've got a lot of health. Yeah, I've got a lot of things going on, guys.
Oh.
So
I don't know where the overlap is.
I don't know. But basically, I went to the doctor. I told her that, and I also kind of told her, that hey, since I started getting my cycles back, it's been really bad. I can't leave the house for a couple days. I feel really sick. And this is my general practitioner. She thought that maybe it was connected and sent me to the OBGYN doctor, like a lady doctor, to kind of follow up and get some blood work done and maybe an ultrasound and kind of see what's going on. So I had blood work done. They also tested my thyroid, by the way, which the GP did that before she referred me, because I've been feeling just kind of meh, and I also feel like my metabolism slowed down. Typically after I have a baby, I don't have a hard time really losing baby weight, but for some reason after Gemma, I've been trying to lose 20 pounds for like a year. So it could just be me getting older, could be partial travel. We've been traveling so much, diet hasn't been that great, but I mean, not bad, like we don't eat bad, but it's just been really a struggle. So there's that was like a whole nother thing. My thyroid was borderline, like I'm not on any thyroid medication or anything, but it's been borderline for a long time.
But borderline is also kind of a general term. It can be a little bit different for everybody, can it?
Yeah, and that's actually, I was talking to another friend, and she was actually saying that like, even though it looks okay, like technically on your blood work, that it might be worth a referral to, what's it called? Endocrinologist.
Yep, that's it.
You know what I'm talking about, endocrinologist or chronology, anyway.
For your endocrine system.
And it
that's
actually,
like 4th grade endocrine system.
Right. It actually made a lot of sense. What she was telling me is my friend Kelly was telling me that. And so I might do that still, just to cross that out like completely, that's a problem. But aside from that, so I go to the lady doctor, so we'll call it, and they did some blood work and did an exam, and then they scheduled a level, whatever, like a higher level ultrasound to kind of see what was going on with my body. And that was where things kind of took an interesting turn, because when I went in and I described my symptoms to the doctor, he was so convinced, like initially, like he sat me down and was like, I think you have PPMD, which if you guys don't know is like, you can Google it, but basically it's a very severe form of PMS, and it affects people like the week before their period, and then like the first couple days that you have your cycle.
And their significant other.
It might also affect your significant other. So he is convinced that he was like, your symptoms that you're describing to me, because I was also having insomnia, but it was not all the time. It was just certain times of the month I was having insomnia. And then, like I said, feelings of just kind of like general anxiety and just feeling just extra overwhelmed and stuff. And so when I looked back and looked at my cycles, I could see why he said that, that could be true. But then after he sent me for this ultrasound, because I described to him, and it might be TMI, but the reason why I can't leave my house when I'm on my period is because I'm like actually bleeding to death, and like really bad. Like I don't know how else to describe it. but it's like been really, really bad. And so when I started describing that to him, that's when he ordered like the special ultrasound. And I went to that and had that done. And then the ultrasound person and the doctor reviewed the results for that. And they sent me a message basically with all the details and said that, so I have another tumor inside my uterus. So it's like a fibroid type tumor technically. If you guys don't know what that is, Google it. But basically that type of tumor is actually very common in women. A lot of women get them. Like I think he said like almost 50% of women at some point in their life will have a fibroid tumor. And I knew that I had at least one, but it was really little because they found it when I was pregnant with Gretchen. So they actually think it's the same one, but basically the tumor that used to be like really little is now half of my uterus, which is really scary. And apparently that's what's causing a lot of these problems that I'm having is that, so like your uterus mine was like 7 centimeters or whatever. So whatever that is, it's like that big. The tumor is like 3.5 centimeters. So it's like,
I don't think that's 7 centimeters.
Ish is what they told me.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. This is, you guys, it's not going to be relative to you because this is on camera anyway, but basically, you know, your uterus is like maybe your fist size or like a little bit smaller. And basically the tumor that I have based on the ultrasound findings is that it's in the wall of my uterus and then goes out into it and it's taking up half of it. So and they think that that's what's causing all the problems that I'm having. And then that actually might be tied to the PPMD type symptoms that I've been having as well. So I wasn't expecting that. Like I wasn't expecting them to tell me that I have, you know, like this thing and it's gotten like so much worse. And now they're basically telling us that we have a couple options. Oh, well, actually first before that, it makes sense now. So before we got pregnant with Gemma and had Gemma, I had like a really terrible miscarriage, and the doctor said that the reason why I likely had that was because of that tumor that was there. It was smaller at that time, but it was still there. And typically if you have these type of tumors, that it can cause you problems getting pregnant. Not, you know, you can have miscarriages, you can have like a lot of problems, because if the baby tries to like attach on that side, wherever it is, it can't usually do that. So yeah, so there's that. And we haven't really talked that much about that. I think I mentioned it like one time before that happened to us. It was the same year that we got pregnant with Gemma, but like around Father's Day that year. It was actually like the weekend of Father's Day, I think it happened.
Yeah.
So that was kind of sad. But anyway, that's like a whole nother story. So, where was I going with this? Oh, okay. So they gave us 2 options. Well, technically there's 3 options, but the doctors basically, after looking at the results from my blood work, after looking at the ultrasounds and stuff, are saying that I either need to have a surgery where they go in and attempt to remove this tumor in an attempt to regulate all the things that have been happening to me, but there's a chance that won't work. There's a chance that they could take it out and the surgery will go well, but that I'll still have problems because I'll have scarring, kind of like endometriosis type scarring, which typically has the same type of issues as fibroids, like as far as pain and bleeding and all that stuff goes. It could go well and it could help and totally fix the problem, maybe. It could also go really bad and they could accidentally puncture my uterus while they're trying to do the surgery, because remember, it's like embedded in the wall, so they have to like go in and try to take it out. If they go too far, or it's like bigger than they think it is, or that they can see on an ultrasound, I could have to have an emergency hysterectomy, which is kind of terrifying. So that's one option. The second option is to forego the first option completely and electively have a partial hysterectomy, like where they just take out my entire uterus completely. The third option is to do nothing for the time being. And the reason why like that's kind of brought up is because like we have 5 kids, right? Right? You guys know, you watch us. And we never, when we got married, like we never really had a talk that we were like, oh, we're gonna have X amount of kids or whatever. Like that was really not, it was just kind of like, we had a kid and we're like, okay, great. Like, this is going well. And then a couple years later, let's have, it's like another kid. Okay, this is going okay. We just kind of taken it like,
and they're all pretty amazing. So.
They are really amazing. I mean, like all of them have been wanted and loved, and we've always been really excited to add another child into the family. And I guess the scary thing about this, and the reason why we're kind of in this place right now where we don't know what to do, is because if I do either of those options that the surgeon and doctor are recommending, we can't have any more kids. And it's also, if we do nothing, there's a chance that if we wanted to have another kid, we even tried to get pregnant, I might not be able to. I might be able to get pregnant, but then I might have miscarriage because of the problems I said earlier where you can't, like a lot of times it doesn't work. And sometimes it does. Like sometimes the people with fibroids or endometriosis or whatever, you can get pregnant and like it's totally fine, you don't have any problems. But you have an increased risk of having problems if you have any of those things. So I guess where we're at right now is that we never had the talk of like, well, we did, but like we're undecided. We've never had somebody tell us like, you have to do this right now, or you can't have any more kids, or you should have this many kids. And it feels weird to have to, I guess to have like that choice kind of like they're putting a time limit on like what we can do. Cause we haven't said that like, we're done having kids. We may be done having kids. Maybe we have one more. I don't know. Like
maybe 100 more.
Definitely not 100 more. Oh. But you guys get what I'm saying? Like it's weird to have that choice in a way taken away from you, because, and that's never been a thing that we've struggled with. Like we never struggled with getting pregnant. We had the one miscarriage, but that was it. So we've been very blessed in the sense that we've wanted to have a baby. We could always just get pregnant and have a baby, and it wasn't like a struggle. You know, we have a lot of friends that have fertility issues and have gone through in vitro or adopted kids, or you know, so many different paths to parenthood. But for us, it's just never been a thing that we thought about like that. And so now we have to make a decision as to like, are we done? We want to try it? Do we want to risk having miscarriages or having a hard time trying to get pregnant? Do we want, like, if we try to do that, like, do we, you know, because in the meantime, remember that in the meantime, while we're deciding this or however long we wait, I'm still struggling every month with all these other issues. So that's, it's tough. It's a very tough place to be in. And, you know, the doctors are like, say doctor said, you know, he's like, you're very lucky you have 5 kids. And we know that. We know that we're very lucky that we have 5 healthy children. And, you know, if we didn't have any more, like, that's okay.
Yeah, they're great.
But I don't know. It's just like a weird, I don't know. Like, I know we talked about it a little bit. And I know Jeff, like, I asked him, like, are we done? Like, and it's a hard thing to say.
I don't really think about it.
But now we're like having to think about it, and I don't know. Right now it's like medical limbo because I don't want to make any like permanent decisions about anything. Oh, I should mention that the first option where they try to go in and do the surgery to try to take it out, that would potentially, like if I did that, I might be able to have kids after that if the surgery went well, but it might also cause a scarring, and then it would be the same as if the tumor was there. So I don't see necessarily any specific benefit to doing that surgery over, like, let's say like the partial hysterectomy where they just take out your whole uterus, because I feel like either way, it's the same, kind of the same issue. Yeah. So like, why have that surgery when like, honestly, if I was
maybe you have to have another one too.
Right. And if I was going to have a surgery, I feel like if we were done having kids, I would just take the whole uterus out and then never have a period again, because that makes way more sense. Right?
Yeah.
Because like that, like, why still continue to get your periods if you don't need them anymore? You know?
Yeah.
So, and I actually do know people that have had this type of partial hysterectomy. I don't know the specific reasons why, but I just know that when I talked to a couple of friends, they said that this had happened to them, that they had that surgery. And there was even the nurse, like she was so sweet when I was very like upset and just kind of in the, you know, the doctor's office. And the nurse was like, you know, I have a partial hysterectomy. So, you know, she's like, it's actually great. She's like, I never have to worry about getting my period on vacation. She actually said that. I was like, well, that's cool.
Yeah, I don't know.
So
I'm here for moral support for this video.
But also, like, we just want to kind of update you guys on that. We get asked all the time, you know, are we going to have more kids? And then last week after that vlog, after I was sick, like people were asking, are you pregnant? You know, like, no, I'm not pregnant. And we just don't know, like, I don't know what we are going to do about this. But basically that's the update with what's going on. We have some very serious decisions to make. Once we make them, we will, I'm sure, tell you guys.
Yeah.
We actually have had this information that we're talking to you about right now for like, what, a month?
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, we've been just kind of sitting on it, thinking about it, and yeah, so anyway.
So if you did watch and get this far, how about a heart emoji in the comments below for Melissa?
So you know you made it all the way. But also, nice. I really would love to hear if anybody watching this, if you've dealt with similar type of issues, if you've had hysterectomy or partial hysterectomy, if you've had fibroid tumors, if you've had PPMD or just heavy cycle, like tell me what your experiences are. I don't know enough. I don't think I'm educated enough about all of this kind of stuff. I mean, my doctor's really cool and he was really good about explaining things to me, but I would love to hear some other stories. And if you don't feel comfortable sharing in the comments, go in the description box. Like we do have like an email in there, and I think it's in our about section as well. Send me an email or on Twitter or Instagram, DM me. I will read those messages, but I would love to hear some stories from you guys if you have anything helpful to say, or if you just want to share kind of your experience with any of that stuff that we just talked about. But thank you guys, I guess, for watching. This is a really weird video for this channel, but we appreciate you. And I guess we'll give you an update as soon as we know what's happening. I mean, I feel like somebody telling you you can't or you shouldn't have a baby makes you want one. Like, I wasn't really thinking about it before. But now I'm like, wait a minute. So, I don't know. If we're gonna have 5 kids, 6 kids, I have no idea. So, anyway.
All right.
All right, guys.
Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.